Good morning, students. So in our last video, we discussed the central nervous system, and in this video, we are going to discuss the endocrine system. This endocrine system, it usually consists of the the glands and the hormones which are released by these glands. So today we'll discuss all these glands, the hormones released by these glands, and what are the functions which are performed by these hormones. So starting with our first gland, that is pituitary gland, that is also known as the master gland. This pituitary gland, it is responsible for the secretion of several hormones. The first is oxytocin, and the main function of oxytocin is it is responsible for stimulation of contraction of uterus and mammary gland cells. So the main function of oxytocin is that it stimulates the contraction of the mammary and the uterus gland cells. Now, the second hormone that is released by pituitary is antidiuretic hormone, that is ADH. And this ADH, it is responsible for stimulating the uptake of water from the kidneys, that is retention of water from kidneys. Now, the third hormone that is known as growth hormone. Third hormone is growth hormone, that is GH, and it is responsible for stimulating the growth in case of human beings. So basically this growth hormone, it stimulates the growth of our bones, due to which the size or the growth of an human being occurs. Now the fourth hormone that is released by pituitary is luteinizing hormone. This luteinizing hormone, it is also known as LH as its short form, and this luteinizing hormone, it stimulates the testes and ovaries, due to which the testis prepares the sperm cells and the ovaries starts preparing the egg cell or the ova. Now the next hormone that is released by pituitary is thyroid stimulating hormone, which is also known as TSH. This thyroid stimulating hormone, it is responsible for stimulating thyroid gland to release the thyroxine hormone. So thyroid stimulating hormone, it stimulates the thyroid gland for production of thyroxine. Now the next hormone that is released by pituitary is adenocorticotropic hormone, that is ACTH. And this adenocorticotropic hormone, it is responsible for the stimulating adrenal cortex to release glucocorticoids. So this ACTH, it stimulates adrenal cortex of pituitary for releasing the glucocorticoids. Now the next hormone that is released by pituitary is FSH. This FSH, it is also known as follicular stimulating hormone. Follicular stimulating hormone, in case of males and females, it is responsible for the stimulating the production of the sperm cell and the ova from testis and ovaries. Further, the next is prolactin. The prolactin hormone that is released by pituitary gland, it is responsible for stimulating the milk production in case of females. So as the name implies, that is prolactin. Lactin, that is lactation process. So this prolactin hormone, it stimulates the milk production in case of females. So all these hormones are released by pituitary gland and they perform the different functions. Now the next gland that we will discuss is the second gland, that is thyroid gland. This thyroid gland, it is responsible for the secretion of two main hormones. The one is thyroxine and the other is calcitonin. Now what is the function of this thyroxine hormone? Usually this thyroid gland, it is present in our neck region. It is present in neck region, and it releases a thyroxine hormone which is responsible for the stimulation and maintenance of metabolic processes. So this thyroxine hormone, it is responsible for stimulation and maintenance of metabolic processes. Usually this thyroxine, it is responsible for the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and fats, all these. Now the second hormone that is released by thyroid gland is known as calcitonin. This calcitonin, it is responsible for lowering of blood calcium levels. So calcitonin, it lowers the blood calcium level, and this thyroid hormone, it is H-shaped hormone. It is like this hormone. It is a H-shaped hormone that is present in our neck region. Now, the next gland, that is parathyroid hormone. It is also present on or above the thyroid hormone, and this parathyroid gland, it produces the parathyroid hormone. So, third gland is parathyroid gland, and it releases the parathyroid hormone. Now, this parathyroid hormone, it has the function just opposite to the thyroid gland. As thyroid gland releases the calcitonin, this calcitonin lowers the blood glucose levels, whereas the parathyroid gland, it releases the parathyroid hormone, and this parathyroid hormone, it increases the blood calcium levels. Now, the fourth gland that we will discuss is pancreas. So, this pancreas, it also releases two important hormones. The one is known as insulin and the other is glucagon. This insulin, it is responsible for the lowering of blood sugar levels. So, when the sugar level increases in our blood, at that time, the pancreas increases the secretion of insulin in our blood, and this insulin breaks down the sugar into simple substances. So, this insulin, it lowers the sugar levels in case of blood. So, it is responsible for lowering of blood sugar levels. Now, the second hormone that is released by glucagon, that is released by pancreas is glucagon, and this glucagon, it increases the blood sugar levels, because this glucagon, it is responsible for the breakdown of glucose into simple sugars. So it increases the blood sugar levels. So this insulin, it increases the blood sugar, it decreases the blood sugar level, and glucagon, it increases the blood sugar level. They have opposite functions to each other. Now, the fifth gland is adrenal gland. This adrenal gland, it also releases two types of hormones basically, that is epinephrine and norepinephrine, and the second is glucocorticoids. This epinephrine and norepinephrine, it is responsible for increasing blood sugar levels. Again, epinephrine and norepinephrine, they control the blood sugar levels, and glucocorticoids, they increases the blood glucose levels. So this epinephrine, it deals with the blood sugar levels, whereas glucocorticoids deals with the blood glucose levels. So epinephrine increases the blood sugar levels, and glucocorticoids increases the blood glucose levels. Now, the next hormone that we will discuss is the testis. So this testis, it have two main functions. It is responsible for the production of the sperm cells in case of males. So they are present only in males, and these ovaries are present only in females. So this testis, it performs two main functions. That is, the one, it is responsible for the production of sperm cells in males, and secondly, it produces a hormone that is known as testosterone. That is testosterone. So testis and ovaries, they both have dual functions. Testis produces sperm cells, the ovaries produces the egg cell, and at the same time they also produces the sex hormones such as testosterone, estrogen and progesterone. So this testis, it releases testosterone hormone, and this testosterone hormone, it is responsible for production or formation of sperm cells, and it also maintains the secondary sexual characters in case of human males. Now, in case of females, the ovaries, they have dual function. Dual function means that they produces the egg cell or ova, and secondly they also produce the female sex hormone, that is estrogen and progesterone. So this estrogen that is released by the ovaries of females, it is responsible for stimulating the growth of uterine lining, that is the uterus lining. So estrogen, it is responsible for maintaining the pregnancy in case of females. It is responsible for the maintenance or growth of uterine lining before the process of menstruation in case of females. Now, so this estrogen, it stimulates growth of uterine lining. That means when the growth of uterine lining occurs, or the uterus lining occurs, only after that the egg can be placed inside the uterus of females. Secondly, this estrogen, it also maintains, or it is also responsible for secondary sexual characters in case of females. Now the last hormone that is released by ovaries, that is progesterone, and this progesterone also promotes the uterine growth of uterine lining. Thank you, students, and here we complete this chapter, that is control and coordination. In next video we will start our next chapter.